Told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G.
I can't hear right.
I'm in Cali every week. I go hard. Bro said he got sour.
You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from New Haven, Connecticut. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and newhavenindependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page, look us up, share us, hit see first, spread the word about cannabis and Cannabis Corner. We want to get as many people as possible listening to the radio show.
Oh, I love it. That let's see first feature goes such a long way for me as well.
Oh, as soon as I get up, I see the first thing I see is New Haven Independent.
It's absolutely awesome. Coming right across your feed on your phone.
Yes, sir.
Joe, welcome back.
Thank you.
Joe is back from Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vieques,
Puerto Rico, yes.
That's right. You have a beautiful tan going, Joe. I don't know what you got going on. Why'd you come back?
I'm asking myself the same. You know, Lou, it's such a difference. I was there for I was actually gone for 8 days. I went 3 days to Florida, Tampa, which was nice. I spent 3 days there with my cousin. Then I spent 5 days on Vieques. I never felt better in my life.
It's the island air, Joe.
Dude,
it's the island
it's
air.
So different. The air is so different. The whole atmosphere is just so different and free down there.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, dude, it's like you're living with nature in communicate. Like they're part of the community. It's where there's wild horses walking around, chickens, roosters.
It's all part of the land.
Yeah,
well,
everybody
we're
lives
out there.
together.
We'll start growing some hemp out
Lots
there. Why
of farms
not?
out
Let's
there.
grow some hemp out there, Joe.
Yes, sir.
So what else is going on? So you just got back. We have a lot of things on the news. New York is making a big push. We saw that in our last email. What other little things are we looking to touch on today, Joe?
Well, I want to talk about New York a little bit.
Yes.
It looks like, after an initial failure.
Yep. They're on that 72-hour crunch right now, Joe.
Yeah, they obviously have a longer legislative session than we do because, the Florida lawmakers now, right, they're on a 72-hour push. They worked all weekend on drafting a new bill for New York State for the House of Representatives and the Senate to vote on. And they sent it over to Governor Cuomo for his changes and what he wanted to get done on it. And now it's a big push just to get enough votes. Now, I think the session ends when? This week?
This week.
Like Wednesday,
yeah,
right?
That's what we're so the push that we were on last week,
they're on now.
They're on this week. So they got about a week longer session than we do. And it's really pushing what's going on.
Right.
So that's what I'm seeing from all of our counterparts in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see all kinds of posts on Facebook. Now is the time to call your legislators. They actually had a big rally up there over the weekend.
Yes, sir.
Big sit-in on there. A lot of the representatives are behind it. Apparently there's only a couple holdouts.
There's only a few, but it's about pushing
dicks,
that. Yeah,
just being dicks.
Richard. All right, I got you. So what we do is, because now on the cannabis side, we also have hemp. Hemp is going strong.
Hemp in New York has always they were one of the states that when they made it legal in 2014 for pilot programs,
they jumped
actually stepped in and did one.
Yes, sir.
So there's people like our friend Sarah who's been growing for almost a year now. She's probably ready with a crop almost.
Yep, we have a couple other friends out there, and Sarah's doing a fully hydroponic.
Yep.
I know Jake is out there. He's an Army veteran, and he's doing another 14 acres that he's doing right into the ground, into the field there.
Right.
So they were just popping seeds right into the ground, and that takes a lot of work.
As you would know. We'll chat a little bit about that later.
We'll chat about that later.
You got your own tan. They call it farmer tan.
Yeah, farmer's tan. I got that farmer's tan. But we had a lot of fun doing that. Hemp farming, and it's under 3% THC. As close to zero as possible, with as high CBD as possible.
Right.
That's being 100% regulated by the Department of Agriculture.
Right.
But once it crosses that 3% threshold, now you're at that. Now it's cannabis,
And it goes to
weed.
DPH.
and that's where it goes exactly to the alphabet boys.
Yeah.
And
So you got to keep it under that 0.3.
that's right. So it's a big portion
Now,
of that.
I heard today, I spoke to somebody today who said, although you can have, if you distill it, you can have over 0.3 in Connecticut. You can have up to 0.5.
So it's 3.4, and
As
they'll
l-
round down.
As long as you're selling it to another
Processor.
producer, right,
Yes.
who can then dilute it
Dilute it.
and
Correct,
make it
sir.
under right. So for pure distillate, they're allowing you a little bit of leeway.
Just a small leeway, because then that'll be processed out and it'll be dropped
diluted down
right.
to the 0.3, right? Because
Yeah.
nobody can get a commercially available product onto the market unless it tests
Correct.
below that
Third-party
0.03.
testing. Yes, sir. So you have to
Okay.
provide all that testing start to finish as well. And they're doing that. Out in New York, they're making sure that they're getting all those certificates.
yeah.
They're doing it really well. And I have to
Everybody
commend
who's doing
everybody
it.
who's doing it is doing it well.
At least the people we deal with,
Yeah.
everybody we deal with that we know of in Mass, Connecticut, New York, all are really doing their best to stick with the regulations, getting this stuff tested.
Doing the due diligence.
Right, doing their due diligence, because this is why we all fought for a legitimate industry. So why do it illegitimately?
Yeah, I don't get it.
If we finally have fought for a legitimate industry, we finally get at least a small one, legitimate industry, we of course are going to stay within the regulations. And I think that's what people need to understand, the public and the legislators need to understand. This is why they all go against home grow and stuff,
Right.
because they're afraid. We've been dying for a chance to do this
Yeah.
legitimately.
And it gives
And when
it
you
gives that
finally get it,
legitimacy.
we're not going to mess around with the rules. They don't understand that.
No,
We're
we're
gonna
not looking to
it
do that.
the right way.
Yeah, and it's awesome
Because we helped put in these rules.
And what I love seeing now recently, at least in Connecticut, and they were doing it in New York as well, but in Connecticut, the news is super hemp friendly currently.
And even hemp especially, yeah.
It's very hemp friendly as an agricultural state,
Right.
and I'm learning firsthand, and as you are too. This is a section of cannabis that isn't necessarily beat up to the point
Right.
that it's demonized.
Right. People
So-
are more willing to accept hemp than they are cannabis.
Oh yeah,
Even though we know it's the same
it's the same plant.
just with different levels of
Yeah.
THC and different uses. But hey, we don't have to tell them that.
Well,
They don't-
even this weekend, the conversation that was being had with one of the farm owners who is completely anti-cannabis, but pro-hemp.
Ah.
And he goes, I've never used CBD before, and I've started using CBD, and I really like it. I'm using a Charlotte's Web brand.
The high
So
end.
he went to the high-end brand that's the most trial and proven-ish.
Right.
And he goes, we're growing it now on our farm, and how do we make it to the same quality? And it's the testing.
Right.
The rigorous testing
and the
that goes along,
processor
and
has to be a good
processing.
processor.
Right. So seeing the NBC cover it today was amazing.
Right. Right.
They put it out there. 30 farmers have been awarded licenses
In Connecticut,
so far, with another 28 waiting to be licensed.
Wow.
So we know a couple of our own personally. We have a couple licenses. Dylan
Right.
is doing really awesome.
Dylan,
Butch, myself. We're all
yourself,
yep.
Mike Goodenough.
Mike Goodenough is
Jeff.
doing awesome. Jeff is doing good.
So there's tons of people.
Lots of great people really into it and doing it.
And there's still land available. We happen to know somebody who's looking to sublease some
Mhm.
land available to grow if people want
Yep.
to. It's getting late
It's
to
later
put
in
your
the season.
seeds.
Yeah.
But if
You're
you
gonna
have
have to buy-
greenhouse,
Yeah,
you
you're
could
gonna
do
have
it.
to buy clones. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to buy clones from either Kentucky or North Carolina or even Colorado. Any place within a 24-hour.
Do you know the regulation on clones? Let's say
Yes.
you guys, one of these people that we know, and okay, you'll have clones within the next 2-3 weeks,
Yep,
right?
You have to buy them, and
Can
then
you
just
buy them here in Connecticut
cannot.
from another grower?
If it has to be somebody with the rights to sell those certified genetics. So as of Connecticut, I don't believe there's anybody. I did purchase personal plug. I did purchase the rights to start doing that.
Oh, you did?
I did. It cost an X amount of money.
To be a distributor of clones and seeds?
Of that company's brand. So
okay.
contacted a company in Colorado.
Oh, I see. You don't do it through the state. You do it through the company.
I'm a salesperson.
Ah.
I bought a territory.
And the state doesn't regulate the sales of
I'm
that.
just a salesperson.
Right, because they don't tell you where.
Because I'm not growing those clones. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just the salesperson.
Right, got you.
That's all I am. Just a
Gotcha.
salesperson.
I like that idea.
So instead of being the guy who's growing them, the salesperson for the
You're
Connecticut.
selling to other farms.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. So, and then they'd buy them from that state and do it all under. I'm just the salesperson.
Right.
They needed a sales rep in Connecticut, and I jumped up and I waved my arm.
There you go, bro.
That sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the worm. You know what I mean?
There you go, brother. Good,
So,
man. Good. So anybody needs hemp seeds, come talk to Uncle Lou.
You know how that goes.
Yes, sir. Everybody knows if you need anything in this thing.
No.
Hemp from hemp.
CBD. Come see your
Anything
Uncle Lou and
CBD
Uncle Joe.
hemp, you see Uncle Lou and Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But yeah, so that's exciting, and that's what I've kind of decided that, after what happened in Connecticut, and we beat that horse to death. We know why it didn't pass in Connecticut, and we have to move on from that.
And it's going to be a great year next year because I am going to be part of the fight next year as well. I know, I'm young. I'm ready to push it. I was having a conversation with Kebra.
Yeah.
We're really excited about next year. We're looking forward to what the possibilities that'll come. With education, that next year is going to be a big education year, and everybody's putting a plan together to work that. I'm just a foot soldier in that realm there, you know that, Joe. But I'll foot soldier as much as I can to keep pushing it. So I'm pretty excited that this year we got some great partners. Last year we had some awesome partners, and it's only expanded, and I believe that next year it'll be either a force to be reckoned with, or we might move into more federally loose laws. Who knows what happens?
That's what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping for the feds to step in because there are bills in the Senate and there's always stuff floating around up there. It just depends on what can get into committee, what they allow through. And right now there's to schedule it.
Yes,
there's a bill in to do that. There's all kinds of bills for veterans access. I know one of them did pass.
Yes, sir. For PTSD.
PTSD. So that's one step. That they've got. There's still 2 other bills for veterans to get access to medical marijuana.
On a federal level.
Why are the VA fighting that so much?
It's rough.
They really are. At least the PTSD, they say, okay, we'll give you that. Well, of course they know. Half of them have it because they're military
already doing
guys.
it.
But yeah, so I mean, let's allow this for the people who need it the most, which are our veterans.
Yeah. 100%, Joe.
Hopefully all that goes through. You can call your federal senator. Blumenthal, though, is very behind it. You really don't have to worry about him and Murphy with veteran stuff. Pretty much our reps, as far as that goes, they all vote yes for that. They're still not fully on board for legalization, but at least,
access for medical, yes.
Yeah, where it counts, they're doing it now. And I'm sure when their party tells them what to do, because at federal level, a lot of that
there's
is
some
dictated.
rules there, bro.
Yeah, there's some rules. Then they can come out and vote for whatever it is. But that may be the way to go is focus on federal, but I'll tell you, I'm not liking the idea of a referendum, and I hope they give up that idea for next year.
That's a rough spot because it puts some positive, allowing the freedom, but with those freedoms, what do you give up? You know what I mean?
You give up the power to write the laws because all you're voting on is do you want cannabis legalization? Then they get in and write the regulations.
So if there's no equity, there's no equity, and it doesn't matter. If it becomes a monopoly, that's exactly what they're looking for. So we've been pushing as much as we can, Joe, and I'm really happy where we're at.
Here's what I'm saying. This is the first thing we got to do next year.
Yes, sir.
I'm putting this out there.
Oh man,
okay.
Roblox. Let's go.
This is the first thing we got to do. We got to get back in touch with the Republicans that we talked to before.
Yes, sir.
We got to get a Republican House person to put a bill in right away for a Vermont style of legalization, which means home grow rights and nobody's getting arrested, with a clause in there that says a Cannabis Control Commission will be formed to put regulation together within the next 2 years. I think everybody will go for that.
And that passed bipartisan as well.
That would pass bipartisan. And I want to tell you why. That's how they did it in Vermont.
Yes, sir.
And this is what Florida is trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am reading now. If you're a Floridian over 21 years old and have any interest in recreational marijuana, you want to hear this. Florida lawmakers have filed a bill that could legalize marijuana in the state for adults 21 and over. HB 117 was filed in Tuesday by Miami Beach Rep. Michael Grieco. Under the bill, anyone over 21 will be able to use, possess, and transport up to 2.5 ounces of marijuana along with pot accessories. If the bill passes, cannabis connoisseurs will soon be able to grow their own plants as long as they keep the fruits of their own labor. So why is this happening now? Because recreational marijuana is already legal in 10 states, and the representatives who filed the Florida bill are saying the change will create a path towards a revenue-generating structure of the green herb in the Sunshine State. It says it's coming one way or another, either by a 2020 ballot initiative, or they can do it right now and just make it legal to possess and grow. So Florida is taking that concept right there. They're not setting up a retail system because they already have. And I'll tell you about my little experience there. I did visit a medical dispensary in Florida. They are going to look into doing a Vermont-style bill.
Yes, sir.
Just to get it kicking and started, you see.
That goes right along with Illinois as well, because Illinois, they didn't legalize the growing of cannabis for adult use, but they decriminalized it.
Yes, so you can grow and only pay a fine.
Yeah.
So there are other ways to do it. I think the mistake our legislators made, and this is the Democrats, I'm going to say, they were so headstrong on this one bill that they put together. They thought it was so great, this masterpiece, that they didn't look at any other options. Like, they didn't take any feedback from the Republicans. So had they listened and maybe said, oh, maybe we could do a Vermont-style bill, and I know I personally said it to them. I know a few other people went up and said, we'd be happy with a Vermont bill, guys. It would really just get the ball rolling, and then you can do the retail. They didn't listen. And you see now other states are starting to do it that way because, the bottom line is you don't want people to get arrested anymore.
Right.
That is the bottom line.
We're not going to put people in jail for
Stop putting
anymore.
people. Now we have at least another year of Connecticut putting people in jail for the plant.
Yeah.
So, this is why, we have to get creative here in this. And there's not much creativity up there. This is what I see that they're lacking.
And this, if you follow our show, is where you see somebody going from the beginning of a term saying, yep, we got it. We got great supporters, to the end, just watching their rooting team go down.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, I was rooting for you so hard, and I was there working with you, and you're just letting me down.
Yeah.
You're just letting me down.
Yeah.
So
they're like
when
the
you
Mets.
listen,
Dude, they're like the freaking Mets.
The Mets. That's a rough one, bro. You just made some Mets fans.
I'm a Mets fan.
So you're empathizing.
We all know any Met fan knows what I'm talking about.
That's what it is.
Give you hope.
Yeah.
And then they let you down.
But it's okay. Every year we come back with that. We can do it again this year. So yes,
that's what keeps me going. I'm a Mets fan.
You're a Mets
lifetime
fan.
Mets fan.
That's exactly what that would work there.
And Jets. How's that?
You're not used to winning, are you? Oh, man.
Now you see why I fight so hard for cannabis, the underdog. So, but yeah, I'm not used to winning. I'm used to getting my hopes up and getting them smashed.
Getting them smashed. So this is what we got going on now. Oh, man. And I've got to say 20 minutes. Joe, got to pay some bills. I'm sorry. Sorry.
All right. This is our 20-minute break here. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up.
You know what we're going to start doing, Joe?
What's that?
We're going to go to Mets games after devouring like
Mets
1,000
games.
milligrams.
Yes. And then maybe
we'll be the only one smiling.
We'll think they won even if they didn't. Yeah, they won. Yeah.
No, this is awesome. I'm pretty excited. We got a lot. And the summer's going to be amazing, Joe.
I would like to go to a Mets game.
Between the hemp farms, before all the rallies, New York has been just going
I hope
crazy.
They go legal because I will hop the train and be going there.
Well, we'll be in Connecticut, so we're talking literally Gotham, 2-hour ride to Boston, 2-hour ride to New York City.
Right.
And from Borders, it's an hour ride.
Right.
What that sign just say? 60 minutes to legal weed, right? That's what that sign said.
And here's what they don't realize. You can take trains.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be driving over the border. There's a nice new train that they've made specially to go straight to Springfield.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I'll take that ride up there, take that ride back in my little closed container with your lock on it. Follow all those laws.
All because you're a medical patient.
In 2 states,
Yeah,
as long as you, and that was something I saw today as well. I was recently contacted by a group called Turptown Throwdown,
Okay.
and they are putting a large celebration of music and
Oh, yeah.
homegrown
I've heard. I
cultivation
want to go to that.
in Spencer, Massachusetts.
When is that?
That is July 9th,
Okay.
completely backed by the state, completely backed by the town
Oh,
board.
so they're giving them the permits?
They gave them permits. They already have permits. There is medical consumption on the grounds by word of the police chief.
As long as you have a card.
As
from
long as
any
you
state.
have your medical marijuana card with proper identification, meaning an unexpired license or ID card and an unexpired medical marijuana card from any state because of reciprocity.
Right.
No recreational smoking, but
Oh, okay.
medicinally, if you have your card and you went through the process, they will 100% be perfectly fine
I love
with
how
it.
there's a difference between
There is.
recreational
There's a,
smoking
you know,
and
one is
medical.
that you paid the state extortion fee.
Right. And the
Yeah.
other one is you didn't.
Yeah.
There's a different one. You smoke it after you pay this, it's different.
Yeah.
High. Totally different effect.
And it's silly because the state of Connecticut has a stamp tax on marijuana still on the books. So if you were willing to take your ounce into City Hall, into
and
the
pay a
tax
on
assessor,
it.
and pay the tax on it, it's
$35.
it's $42.
Oh, now it's 42. Oh.
But it's your state stamp tax act.
You can carry it legally.
You could, but then before you paid the taxes, you exposing it to an agent of the state would
and
get
let
you
them
in
know you have
trouble.
it. Okay. Well,
It's the catch-22, Joe.
Yeah, okay. I
You
get
know,
you.
it's
pay
not
that
under the
fine.
yeah. You got to pay the fine now, and it's if you don't pay the state extortion
It
fees,
costs you a lot more to have that ounce than it does to buy the ounce.
exactly, it costs you some freedom. They will
Yeah.
lock you up first.
They won't lock you up for an ounce anymore, which is a good thing.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. There.
Yeah, but still, hey, we got to deal with what we got to deal with, and that's
So
the
now
thing.
let's
We
talk
got hemp.
Florida.
Oh yeah, let's talk Florida and
Florida
Puerto Rico too.
Medical marijuana clinic. What was
Okay.
your visit? Where'd you
I
go?
went to Curaleaf.
Did you?
Curaleaf opened up a brand new dispensary right near my cousin's house, so we went in and visited it.
Curaleaf of Connecticut.
Curaleaf in
Oh,
Connecticut.
No
Reciprocity.
No reciprocity. That's
But-
right, sir.
Because I showed them I was a medical patient, they let me come in. I told them I was an investor too. I said, I'm an investor in your company. I need to come
That's right, you
look
own
at
some
my
stock.
property here.
That's right.
So, full disclosure.
That's right.
I thought they were going to get legalized weed here, and I figured it would bump up.
Yep.
But anyway, I went in. Very nice. Very nicely done. Boutique looking. But not as medical as the ones here.
No.
Still, but it was very nice. Curaleaf up there has their own brand of everything.
Yes.
So everything comes in Curaleaf boxes, and everything's vertical. The guy, I sat and had a nice conversation with the guy about how it works in Florida. They do not have reciprocity, but they let me in anyway. There is no home grow for medical patients, but you can buy. Their limits. I forget. They're not as bad as Connecticut. I think you can buy up to an ounce a day, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And there's no limit on it, how much. It's their prices are fairly high at like what rec, 40, 45 an eighth instead of
All the way up.
like the 30. Yeah, all the way up. Mostly eighth prices. They sell everything in eighths, but they also do grams. They had every kind of selection you wanted. They had some really cool boutique edibles.
Very
and
nice.
things like
Curaleaf
that.
doing its thing.
Curaleaf, yeah. So it was very nice. They were very accommodating. And I think he said they had 12 dispensaries. Oh, no, 22 in the state of Florida alone. So that medical program and Curaleaf is a big presence down there, I guess.
Wow.
So they have 2 grow facilities that supplies all their dispensaries because you got to be vertical down there. So they have 2 grow facilities there on 2 ends of the state, and that supplies all their dispensaries around the state of Florida. They're hot.
That's a whole lot.
There's a bit, yeah, and they're completely branded. Well, we know that Curaleaf, didn't they put the word out to the Connecticut growers?
Oh, they let
we
them know.
want your hemp.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want hemp because they got that big CBD deal with Walgreens.
And it's all over the country.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
all over the country.
So
It'll get
CBD is
going to
go all over the country, and they're only in a couple states. So
yes,
as
I think there was 8
Walgreens
states.
opens their self up to it,
Well,
they're
now
going to start pushing it even
more and more. So whatever big companies, they're going to be looking for a lot of hemp now. Speaking of CBD,
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about Massachusetts.
I have.
So
Mass put in some rough. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. You got the paper there,
Massachusetts
man.
did the same thing that California did when they wrote their regulations and left out hemp.
Yes.
So CBD's been floating around with any regulations in Massachusetts. Well, they decided they decided that we can't have that. We have to change the law for CBD.
And they made it rough.
Oh man. So here
The last line on there, you'll see it. The last one, that's the one that gets me, man. Chaps my biscuits.
Sale of hemp-derived products. A license is required to sell industrial hemp, i.e., MDR contains the term sell or sale. Only people who can sell hemp in Massachusetts. This is just the beginning. Massachusetts licensed grower to a Massachusetts licensed grower. Massachusetts licensed grower to a Massachusetts licensed processor. Massachusetts licensed processor to a retail facility. So first of all, they've cut out any idea of bringing in CBD from other states.
Yep.
So in order to sell it in Mass, it has to be grown in Mass by a licensed grower
in Massachusetts.
In Mass, whether it be hemp or cannabis, to a licensed producer.
Yep. From Massachusetts.
From Massachusetts. And then it can only be sold by the Massachusetts licensed processor to a retail facility. Okay.
As a retail facility, though, obtaining that license isn't going to be something that's going to be horrible.
No.
Think an alcohol license or a tobacco license. It would just be integrating that into that. So if it is a mom and pop bodega that has a tobacco license, they might apply for a CBD license.
Right. No, I don't think that part's going to be bad.
No.
Getting it out to the retail. It's just that now they have excluded all these people that we know who have been importing their CBD from other places and making their products with it and selling them out in the retail market. They all have to be licensed. You know, everybody. It's going to be a big licensing
I just had
process.
an aha moment, and one person came to mind. I won't even throw that company right out here right now, but that sucks.
Yeah. Now here we go. Here are the approved hemp-derived products. This is what you can sell.
Yes, sir.
Hemp seed.
Yes.
Hemp seed oil.
Yep, just like Walmart.
Whole hemp.
Yep, just like Whole Foods.
Hemp seed powder.
Oh, Whole Foods.
Hemp protein.
What? Trader Joe's.
Hemp clothing.
Oh.
Hemp building material.
Yes, sir.
Any items made from hemp.
Hempcrete.
Fiber.
I love it.
How's this one though? Flower or plant from a Massachusetts licensed grower to a Massachusetts licensed grower or processor. Can't sell the flower retail.
Nope.
No more flower retail CBD flower. Now, how about let's look at the hemp products not approved for sale.
All right, so I have my own understanding and my own idea on hemp as an animal product because that's the big one that nobody ever likes. I think we should be feeding our cows and pigs and everybody all the oink oinks and moo moos, all of them.
Not if you live in Mass.
Not if you live in, but I think, and not if you live in Connecticut either, because we're not allowed to do it for animal feed as well.
Right.
So that's when, and the entire UK doesn't allow it for animal feed. Animal feed is hard because they don't want the cow. This is the misconception, and this is where education is going to help.
The cows to have CBD.
They don't want the cows to have THC in them.
Well, hemp does. Well, eventually, if you eat enough, I guess it would.
Right, they may get a little bit, but there hasn't been any test out there really, or any science. This is what I would say: we would need to feed cows a hemp-based diet
and see what happens,
and see if their milk comes out
green.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, they used to do it.
Oh yeah, hemp has always been a feed product. It's
cows
good for the
meant
animal.
To fed on green.
Yeah.
Chlorophyll.
And imagine if a cow is now being supplemented to diet with hemp.
CBD. They used to.
The muscles are leaner. They're not as stressed. The cow isn't stressed. An unstressed cow produces better milk, better milk,
meat, nice
better
tender meat for the bulls, right? Well,
the whole thing.
So let's talk about what they're not going to allow.
Let's go, Joe, because I went on my rant.
Any food product containing CBD.
Mm-hmm.
Any product containing CBD derived from hemp that makes a therapeutic or medicinal claim.
No claims anymore.
Any product that contains hemp as a dietary supplement. Animal feed that contains any hemp products. That's what we were just talking about. Unprocessed or raw plant material including flour
Yeah.
that is meant for end use by the consumer. So there goes your hemp CBD flour in Massachusetts. Now, this is going to put, now, from what I understand, the people I've spoken to, and I'm sure the people you've spoken to, are just not going to comply with this, and they're going to keep doing what they're doing on their little cottage level, which, look, we can say that down here.
Yeah.
We're not naming names.
No.
But we know
But let 'em
people
do
are
what
going
they
to
gotta
wait
do.
until somebody comes in and tells them not to.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, as of what the state of Massachusetts wants to do, they want to ban pretty much any out-of-state CBD products. And from what I see, I don't know what the difference is, dietary supplement or therapeutic.
It's the
I don't know
claims.
if tinctures. I think tinctures are included. You can't.
Oh, yeah.
Because you eat, right? They're considered food products.
It's a hemp oil.
So no tinctures.
So this is the
Only thing you can
catch-22.
do is topicals, right?
Here's your catch-22 on that.
Yes. And they're blaming
Hemp oil
the
is
FDA.
allowed. Hemp oil is allowed.
Pressed.
Pressed hemp oil.
Cold pressed.
Cold pressed hemp oil.
Yes. That's it? Cold pressed CBD.
We'll see.
How much CBD do you get when you
You'd have
cold
to get it
press?
tested. I have to get it tested. You know what I mean?
It's just, hemp seed oil. That's all you can do. You cannot do from flour.
No.
So I don't know where this leaves our friends in Massachusetts because we know people.
They might just move up. They might just put an address in Massachusetts for a business, because that's what as an entrepreneur, I would tell a business that is now going to have these problems in Massachusetts to go to a much more friendlier state.
Set up a business address.
Set up a business address in this state, so that now they'd be able to import or export whatever they needed to do. Because as a processor in Massachusetts, they can purchase
From other.
Massachusetts people and then do the rest of their business out of state.
Right.
So their Massachusetts line would just be a Massachusetts line. Very similar to Kentucky, that allows a 0.5.
Florida allows 0.9.
You see? It's a big difference.
0.9. Can you believe that?
That's a
good
huge
CBD.
difference.
And CBD is crazy down there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of CBD. So this is Mass. So all our friends in Mass, we got to help them and support them. There's
That's
a
right.
big convention this weekend up in Springfield. The NECAN convention. It's going on this weekend. It's 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
People want to go up to Mass. I'm sure a lot of the activists will be up there talking about this and what we can do to help reverse it. Because nothing's permanent, nothing's set in stone. Right now in Connecticut, we're lucky because our legislative session is over.
Yep.
And there's
What we have here for the summer is what we have here for the summer, brother.
What we got is what we got. So
And
we got to take advantage of it. Anybody from Mass want to sell some edibles, come on down.
Come on down. We'll even host you down here.
We'll host you down
because
here.
the Department of Agriculture here in Connecticut, I was very clear with that question. Are we allowed to sell our raw product to a processor out of state?
Right.
And the answer was yes. When I was working in Ohio, I asked the same question. The answer was yes.
Right.
When I was working in Kentucky, the answer was always yes. To my understanding, Massachusetts is the first state that's putting this type of...
Well, they're still allowing you to export, but they're just not... If
Right.
you export, you just can't
Can't import it.
You're right.
So
Right.
now it puts it to the farmer's going to be able to grow it,
Yeah.
and they're going to have to export it to
Right.
one of the big hemp states like Kentucky or
Right.
North Carolina, which adds a higher shipping cost.
Yep.
And then the stress of shipping, which is federally
Which
legal.
they're still stopping left and right
They're
because
stopping
these
them.
people are ignorant and they're not educated
Yep.
on the difference between hemp and cannabis. Even though people are showing them their certification papers, they're still getting it confiscated. And eventually they get it returned, but
Right.
after a long
And a lot of
hassle.
it. And so when you think hemp flower for processing, it does not look like cannabis at all.
No,
It's already mulled.
Yeah.
So when industrial hemp's being collected for biomass, you're using a combine like a hay
right.
like a hay extractor,
cutter,
hay
yeah.
cutter, sickle bar. So that all gets bunched together, and then that actually gets combined down a little bit more and chopped into like homogenized
Little
flour
things like this big,
material. Yeah. So now it's in a big super sack, 700-pound bag basically of all this biomass just sitting on top of each other, and then being then it's going to be extracted.
Do they dry it first, or does it set out wet?
It is dried through a drying process, so that there's
Quicker then.
Yes,
Quick
it's a
dry,
quick
then
dry.
not cured, just
They're
dry.
not cured because think live resin on the THC world,
Yeah.
you're not necessarily drying the plant. You're literally processing it immediately.
Right.
And, live resin is going at a higher price point or quality, one might say, than dried, cured, blasted
Right,
afterwards.
obviously,
Because
right,
live resin, everybody's like, oh, it's live resin.
Yeah, the price is much different for like flour.
And
If you actually cured the buds like they sell the CBD flour, the price is much different than for raw biomass.
Right.
Yeah,
Raw
yeah.
biomass is all about
$50
bulk.
a pound, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
just sell
nothing
it, and
crazy.
People do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, but you're also doing you're doing 100 acres, Joe.
Yeah.
You literally
lot of hemp product, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think of it as a farm product. And look how hay comes. Look how when they cut things down. Yeah, it's a farm product. So that's mass.
Yep.
So we're we're looking at a state that's legal, but
and they're putting a lot of regulations on
their
CBD, man.
California did the same thing, but eventually they reversed it and made some regulations for it.
Yes.
But apparently their reasoning in this is because the FDA still has not determined it for its use. They haven't said you can't, but they haven't said you can.
What are you thinking about Puerto Rico, Joe,
As
since
a
you were just down there, man?
Okay.
Let's
So
transition this conversation
Yeah, I found
over.
a little bit about Puerto Rico. They do have reciprocity.
Yes, sir.
It's so easy. You walk into the dispensary, show them your card and your regular ID. You give them $25, and they give you a 72-hour pass to buy in the dispensaries. So if you're there for a weekend, whatever, you can go in the dispensary, buy as much weed, or if you're there for a week, buy as much weed as you need for the week.
Yep.
It's for tourists and travelers, so that's a good thing. Their prices, they have a giant dispensary out there with all kinds of prices, all kinds of strains. They usually sell by the gram.
Oh, yeah.
Out there, it's more sold by the gram, and it ends up to be $15 a gram. They have specials for $10 a gram. So, I mean, it's a little bit higher price than here, but they have everything you could want: vape pens, edibles, concentrates.
It's a vacation marketplace.
Yeah, it is corporate out there. There's one big grower right now who's pretty much supplying, or maybe two big growers who are supplying the dispensaries. There's quite a few throughout the mainland, but the one I didn't even go to, but the one they use for Vieques is in Fajardo, which is where the ferry lands. So you get off the ferry, and right there's a big giant dispensary. It's large. So apparently they have over 33 conditions. They have the most number of conditions as any medical program in the country. And to get a medical card, you have to see a doctor. It costs about $50 to see the doctor. And then it's $125 to the state. So it costs you about $175. You get the whole process done. You can get it done in one day. Get right over. It's doctor registers you, dispensary right next door.
Oh, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't
Just
you?
like
I would
Cali,
little Cali style.
They got to make
It's
it
a
easy
vacation zone,
for
If you're coming in, you gotta go. Boom, 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 boom. You can't just putz around there, brother.
Yeah. So the licensing structure, I met somebody who's got the Vieques dispensary license. They're similar here to Connecticut, where they make you have money in escrow. They want you to have 2 years operating expenses
ready to go
to make sure you're not going to go out of business. They don't want fly-by-nights in there. And they have 3 tiers of licenses.
Yeah.
Depending on how big the tier of license you get, depends on how much you have to have in escrow. So, and it's the same with the dispensary, although you have to have less money in the bank. It's operating. They go by operating expenses. You have to hand in a whole business plan. Same as Connecticut. Show them where you're going to be.
How much money, where you would put it.
The location, the whole deal, your business plan, your floor plan, everything. So they're just, similar to Connecticut. It's not that wild west out there.
No.
And then they do make you jump through hoops to be a doctor out there. It's not like Connecticut where an APRN can do it or a doctor, and you just sign up. As long as you're in good standing with the state, you just sign up to be a medical marijuana doctor. Here in Puerto Rico, you have to go through a certification process.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of the doctors
they just don't want to
bother. It's like, why? I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
why
I
I
don't
like to
have to
get
do this.
certified to prescribe weed.
I don't do another thing. I can give away oxycodone all I want.
Yeah, right. So that's what they're missing there. There's not even a doctor on Vieques to give out the recommendations. You have to go to the main island to get them. And that's what they could use out there is more doctors giving out recommendations. Except you got to have one that wants to go through hoops, and only a doctor can do it.
So on that note,
well, I talked to Kebra.
I've had a couple conversations about those things, and it can
that
be
is
done.
doable, but you need a doctor who wants to jump through the hoops.
Puerto
and it
Rico
has to be
also
doctor.
allowed. Puerto Rico also allows teleconferencing.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So yeah, that's a good way to go around. So there's all those. There's a lot. I see a lot of opportunity.
There's a ton of opportunity in the
And I
cannabis world.
really
and if
like
you're
it.
interested, reach out. Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We can
yes,
help you
I
out
have
there.
investment opportunities in Puerto Rico if anybody's interested. And no, it's very good to see how other states are doing it. You know?
sir.
And a matter of fact, I have a complaint to make.
Oh.
I went on to my dispensary website today.
And which dispensary do you use,
Who
Mr.
do
Jordan?
I don't know if I want to call them out, but they begin with an A, and they're in Milford.
Okay.
And I wanted to get some indica.
Go.
Usually
Some
I'm a
indicas.
sativa guy, but I wanted to
They
mix
have indicas usually.
pre-rolls only.
Pre-rolls only.
They had one strain of flower that was a high CBD, only 10% THC, 15% CBD. Everything else was pre-rolls. So I said, oh, let me check the hybrids. Same deal.
Really?
Pre-rolls only. And in the hybrid, they had no flower at all. Only pre-rolls.
Huh.
Sativas, 6 different kinds of flower.
6 different
kinds of flower.
Wow.
Plus the pre-rolls.
So
what
it's
is
safe
going
to
on?
say it's safe to say that this go around, because the harvester in cycles, that they were growing a predominantly sativa strains to give that variety, but it comes at the expense of variety.
Yeah.
So now it's not, okay, we'll have 10 different types today. We're going to do 2 types every 4 months.
I was shocked. And when I go there to go pick up my order, I'm definitely going to say something.
You should definitely
now, I don't
say
know.
something.
Obviously, the dispensary is at the mercy of what the growers are offering.
Yes.
So I don't know if this is the growers only offering pre-rolls now, or what are they trying to get everybody over to pre-rolls?
They're trying to make a little extra money because now they have extra dispensaries to service. That's what the problem is, Joe.
And weren't we warning about shortages
to service? Which means the same amount of flower that was coming out with the 3 new dispensaries that just opened
already opened, with 6 more ready.
So 3 new dispensaries open up. Now they've got to split these sales. Oh, wait a second. Oh, we have people leaving dispensaries. People in one shot.
Yeah.
Easy to say, because I transferred my dispensary, and then my wife transferred her dispensary as well. So Milford lost 2 people.
Right.
You know,
and I'm
that
sure
alone.
the New Haven one is going to take a lot of people.
New Haven's going to take a lot of Milford clients.
But then, see, this is, and the growers are not.
They don't care.
They're not compensating. The fact that you can only get pre-rolls, you can't even dose properly with pre-rolls. There are people need the indicas more than the sativas.
Yeah.
Those are more for pain, more for sleep, more for, you know what I mean? And
for
people need
for
those.
anxiety, for everything.
That's why there's so many sativas.
Yeah,
because
people aren't buying them.
They want the indicas and the hybrids, and there's a shortage right now. And I'm really, really upset about it, because we warned about this. And no, it ain't going to happen. Then they still will not license another grower. Maybe this will make them do it, but I think we got to make some noise to the DPH and let them know that we're not happy about this.
Because remember, the dispensary is always going to say, what are you talking about? We're doing tons of sales every day.
Yeah, but they're going to do less, because I won't buy pre-rolls.
No.
I can't do them.
I've tried them. I've tried them. And
light it, and they're gone in 2 hits. They're dry. It's terrible.
Yeah. So when I get those pre-rolls, I pack them down. I shake them up a little bit, so that it gets a nice little pack in there, and then
well, that's different between rolling your own pre-roll and theirs.
So now the flower's dry.
Because you know what they're using
time.
in there.
It's homogenized a little bit, C grade, D grade.
That stuff they're selling a second cut.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a lot of second cut available.
Because it's all going into joints.
It's all going. If you want concentrates, they got plenty though.
Tons of concentrates.
So they're running everything, I guess.
Yeah, big money in concentrates. You know what's gonna happen? And then even with that travel, the gray market.
It's been a shortage.
Flowers through the roof. There's going to be an oil shortage soon. You know, from all these shows that's going on. Strange Creek was going on in Massachusetts.
There's
that
going
was
to be a lot.
Things,
there has been.
You know,
it's been very a drought out here.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? We just got to wait for harvest.
I go to the
dispensary and get pre-rolls, right? Hey, we can always go, and I don't even tell people they should do this, but Rhode Island has reciprocity.
Rhode Island definitely has reciprocity.
We can always go get stuff in Rhode Island, or there's another place real close that actually has legal weed. So if you want any variety, you may have to travel. because and this is, we warned the legislators. Oh, you're gonna have shortages. People are gonna go out of state. Oh, okay. Now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing it. So they get what they deserve.
And they're not even gonna get the tolls.
The state, the state gets what it deserves. That's for sure here in Connecticut. But anyway, we're getting close to
Joe's got to pay the bills, though.
No,
bro.
we do have to pay the
5
bills
minutes
one
over.
more time, and then we're going to do a little bit about what's going on in the
Yes,
state.
because we have some really cool things coming up, and I'm super excited.
You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent, or go to your Facebook page and look us up.
So, one of the cool things that's going on, and Kebra's not here because she's doing that now, but Gateway is putting on a Cannabis for Medical Professionals course, and she is teaching it.
Really? When does that start?
That started this week.
And is that part of their summer curriculum?
It's part of their summer curriculums. If you go to Gateway, there's a ton of great courses that you can take. In the past, I've taken a motorcycle safety course.
Yes, all kinds of adult education, extra education.
Yes.
Right, that you can take. You don't have to be a registered
You don't have to be a
right.
matriculated student. You
Right.
just register. The application fee is like $25 for somebody like that. It's nothing
credit,
crazy.
right?
And it's just, So like I took the motorcycle safety course there. I think I took a cooking class there. I've taught a cooking class there. So those activities are available for New Haven and New Haven County residents and anybody else who's looking to do
wants
it.
to go, yeah.
So Kebra is teaching one of those courses, which is absolutely awesome. So it is a Cannabis for Medical Professionals course through Gateway
Cool. How
University. Gateway
many
College.
How many weeks is it? Do you know?
I believe it's a couple courses, like a summer course, so twice a
Nice.
week for 5-6 weeks or something like that.
Congratulations, Kebra, and I do have an announcement that she will be coming back next
She
week.
is coming back
And
next
she can
week.
tell us all about it in person, so we're going to have a little nice celebration, return of Kebra to Cannabis Corner
Yep.
next
It's
week.
a great team, and we're very excited to have her back. She was working diligently
And we'll have
on everything.
we'll have a guest on next week. We'll find somebody very cool to have
Well,
on.
next week is already being planned out and
Yeah.
everything.
And we'll let you know
Tomorrow
about
I have
that.
a really cool meeting with a Dr. Juan Rios from New
Ah.
Jersey. He is a Panamanian gentleman from New Haven County. His father actually passed away here in New Haven from the AIDS epidemic.
AIDS, okay.
From the AIDS epidemic here. And from that urban trauma, that healing of colored men mostly, being a black Latino gentleman, that speaking about those traumas are so taboo in the male community. Black, white, purple, green.
With
It's
men,
just-
yeah.
Men and mental health is such a hard topic, and we're going to be really excited to be talking to Dr. Juan Rios.
Good. I hope to talk to him. I need a little talk
We all
about my
need a
mental
talk.
health.
We're all
Anyway.
we're all a little crazy, brother.
So a couple of things that I have top of my head. Maybe you can fill this in for me. The NECAN convention this
Yes, sir.
weekend is Saturday and Sunday up at Springfield. I guess it's at the casino up there at the Springfield
MGM.
Convention Center, MGM. There, you can do a little gambling. Go on
Come
up.
out, visit the space. There's going to be a ton of vendors
I
out
think it's
there.
cheap.
Education booths. It's $35.
Yep.
Come out, have a great time. $55 for the
Get your
2 day.
CBD while you still can in Massachusetts.
That's right.
Also, let's see. We have the normal meeting is
Normal
this
meeting,
Wednesday, and we're going back to the cellar, which used to be the Rough Draft,
which is
up
awesome.
in Hamden. They got a great
Right
menu.
off Treadwell.
Right off Treadwell. Come off there, off exit 60 on the Parkway. It starts at 7, but get there a little early. From what I understand, they have great food there. They changed the whole menu. I'm looking forward to trying the Beyond Burger.
All right.
They're actually selling that there now. That is that burger that actually looks like and tastes like meat. And they had the highest IPO this year on the stock market.
Look at that.
Yeah, so they got great food there. That's starts at 7. That's this Wednesday night.
Yep.
The medical marijuana support group is going to be on 7/10
I
this
love it.
month because of the 4th of July weekend. So we pushed it up a week to July the 10th, and that's going to be at the Grove in in Milford.
And what
that
else do we have
starts at
going on,
7.
Joe?
At
the Grove.
There's not a lot going on. We have the Can of Health going on at the Grove this week. You'll have to check the Facebook page for the hours because I've been away.
And where you can follow that is the Grove CT.
Grove CT at Facebook.com. Now, do you have any events coming up that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, there's always something coming up. This weekend, I'll be up in Massachusetts
Right.
for MGAC's It's Magical Night. And so that's Mass Growers Advocacy Council. They are the advocacy group for the Home Grow Massachusetts Growers Alliance, and I'll be catering their magic night. So it's an adult magician who comes and makes joints appear and all type of cannabis themed magicry.
See what you can do in a legal
so
state.
Sweet, yep, sleight of hand, and it's more of a social networking event where it's about 50 home growers and cultivators that are part of the alliance and advocacy work come together. They meet at the location and kind of have a great time doing it, and we provide the food. So this it's ramen night.
It's ramen night.
We're doing
infused ramen.
CBD infused ramen.
I
Yes.
love it. I love CBD. Let's try. Let's serve
It's
that.
awesome. All right, Joe. We have to
All
do
right,
it
we
one
got
more
2
time.
minutes left. Anything else, Uncle Lou? I do want to say.
Yes. All
I'm
my
not giving
photos
anybody
came in, Joe.
Ooh,
All the photos came in.
Real quick, I'm not giving anybody a plug because I don't like to, but there is, just to show how big CBD has gotten, there's a brand new store opened up in Milford on the Post Road.
Oh, yeah?
Completely CBD, called
That's
Your
awesome.
CBD Store. It's a group out of Florida called Sunflora. I am going to go visit it this afternoon after I leave here. I want to see what's going on, but yeah, it's a CBD only
You know what,
store.
Joe? Maybe we'll take that right together.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I want to check it out. It's up on the Post Road, from what I understand, by Hooters. So
Bless
anyway,
their heart.
yeah, it's nice to see it go. It's a Florida, and they do have them in Florida. I saw one. They were
You saw
opening
one
one
down
in
in
Tampa
Florida.
too.
All right, awesome.
So yeah, so next week we'll have Kebra back. Please come to the normal meeting this Wednesday, and learn how to learn what you can do to help get legalization.
It's pretty exciting. We're very exciting.
7:00 Wednesday at the Cellar. Check for Canna Health this week down at the Grove, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Have a
Stay
great
happy,
one,
healthy,
guys.
and high, my friends.
That's all, always. Peace out.
I'm about to jump up on another plane. Right before I take another toke, it's all love. If you here, you done been through it. It's your business if you into it. If it ain't mine, I ain't into it. So I don't care what you meddling. You can say what you peddling, cause niggas ain't easily influenced. I'm about to take another long drive, cause it helped me get a clear mind. So while you staring at your watch, I'll be looking at the sun. Yeah, I'm moving.